What's going on, guys? So for those who are coming from my website, this video is in regards to a series of articles that I've been doing for 3D Muscle Journey. This is part 3 of a series on emotional eating and eating for psychological or other non-physiological reasons. However, if you haven't read the first 2 articles, I would suggest that you go back and read those, but if not, this video still works as a standalone video. So the first step of the emotional eating cycle is that there is some area or some areas of your life that you are unhappy with. I use the term unhappy here as a general term, and we'll get more specific with defining this unhappiness later on. So you're unhappy with some area in your life which causes you to feel some uncomfortable emotion, whether that's frustration or loneliness, depression, rejection, whatever it is. Feeling this uncomfortable, this negative emotion sucks. And what's one easy way to either eliminate, to hide, to cover up this emotion, this feeling, at least in the short term, is to eat. Eating is a temporary relief from your emotion, a temporary relief from the situation. However, it's quickly fading. You get these quick changes in body chemistry that make you feel good in the short term, but that quickly fades away. And once that does, now you feel even worse. Because not only is this negative emotion still there, not only is this situation in your life still there, but now you're mad at yourself for overeating. Especially if you're trying to lose weight, now you're upset because not only, like I said, is that problem still there, but now you've set yourself back further on your other goals. Maybe you're physically uncomfortable, bloated, gassiness, and you're kind of psychologically beating yourself up. So if you feel even worse, that's going to cause you to experience more negative, more uncomfortable emotions, depression, frustration, helplessness. If you feel depressed, if you feel helpless, what does this do to your energy? It gives you low energy. If you have low energy and you feel helpless, what do you want to do? Nothing. And if you don't do anything, nothing changes. And if nothing changes, there is still some area of your life that you're unhappy with. So emotion. So think back to some physical injury that you've had in the past. How did you know that you had this injury? How did you know that something was wrong? You got a message from your body, and that message was pain. You felt this physical pain, which caused you to do something to heal it, to make that pain go away, whether it was to ice it or to get a cast or whatever. Without that pain, without that message, you wouldn't have fixed the injury and it would have gotten worse. So emotions are the same thing. They are messages telling us that something in our life needs to change, that something isn't right. However, unlike physical pain, which can be a lot harder to ignore, emotional pain is a bit easier to numb or to cover up. And like we talked about, one easy way to do this, at least in the short term, is through food. So how do you stop the cycle? Step 1 is to define your emotion. So figure out what the emotion or the message is. So this is kind of going back to that first step in the cycle, and that's defining your unhappiness. So what specifically are you feeling? What specific emotion are you feeling? Is it loneliness? Is it anger? Is it frustration? And the key is to be honest with yourself. Don't keep ignoring it. Remember that just like physical pain, emotions are messages which are there to let you know that something isn't right. Identifying the correct emotion is the first step to resolving it. It's critical to be honest with yourself and to identify the correct emotion you are feeling, the true source of your discomfort, your unhappiness, so you can address it. Addressing the wrong issue will not help. So as an example, let's say that somebody is in their mid-30s and they've always wanted to have a really passionate, intimate relationship and they don't have one. And let's say they're going through a time at work where stress is a little high and people are asking why they're so kind of stressed out, why they're frustrated, and they're using work as a scapegoat to kind of place their frustration and their anger and all their attention on. However, if they dug a little bit deeper, they would see that yes, there might be some work stress that's there, but it's not really this work stress that's causing them to feel so unhappy, to cause them this frustration. It's actually a sense of loneliness. So step 2, after you've defined the true emotion that you're feeling, step 2 would be to identify the cause. Now that you've defined the emotion and the message specifically, what is causing you to feel this way? Is it one specific event? Is it a bunch of negative experiences added together? Step 3 would be to create your game plan. So once you've defined the emotion and once you've figured out what's causing you to feel this way, the next step is easy, and that's to ask yourself these questions. What do I need to do to resolve this issue? What would have to happen for me to be fulfilled in this area to eliminate this unhappiness? And what specifically do I want? Step 4 then is to take the first step now. So at this point, you know what the negative emotion is, you know what you're feeling, what's causing you to feel unhappy, you know the situation or what is causing you to feel this way, and you know what you want, what would resolve this issue, what would resolve this unhappiness, what would resolve this negative emotion. So from here, as long as what you want is a fair ask and you've given yourself a realistic time frame, then the next thing to do is simple, although it's not always easy, and that is to do something that will get you closer to what you want. So if it's stress related to finances, then you have to do something to address stress related to finances. If it's a feeling of loneliness, then you have to do something to address the feeling of loneliness. If it's a sense of loss due to the death of a loved one, then you have to do something to address that loss. It has to be addressing that specific issue. Once you resolve the issue, the negative emotion, and therefore the source of your unhappiness, the emotional eating will take care of itself. Obviously, there is a lot more that goes into this process, and I can only give you so much through one video. However, this is a great place, a great template for where to start. And it can all pretty much be summed up into one short, obvious sentence, and that is, once you resolve the negative emotion, the emotional eating will take care of itself. Thank you guys for watching. Please let me know in the comments below how you like this style of presentation compared to just a standard article. Let me know which one you like better, and I'll continue to carry forward with that in the future. I'll see you guys later.